guys, what is going on? Thank you so much for tuning in to our daily astrology reading here at Purusha Intuitive. I hope all is well in your world, sending lots of love and blessings always. So with that, let's get into it. This is our daily astrology reading for Monday, November 28th. 2022. And so let's see. If you've been following along or you do your own research with astrology, things have been kind of tense. But there is a lessening, and if anything, today there's more favorable aspects, influences, and how things are going to play out. It doesn't mean that there is not tension or you're not necessarily going to run into, some issues and problems. I hope you don't always, right? But if you do, just know that you actually have all the tools and the energies to navigate this situation for your best outcome. I think that what's calling me first, we talked a lot about Mars in the last video, and it's still in retrograde, which basically means that when a planet's in retrograde, it forces us to kind of look at how those energies show up in our own life. So Mars is the masculine, it's action-oriented, pushing forward, making things happen, etc. Being in retrograde, it's going to force us to reflect on those attributes and then say, okay, well, how is this showing up in my life? Is this energy like helping me or hurting me? And it looks like today the good thing is we're actually going to be seeing some of the fruits of our labor. It's positively aspected to Saturn, trine aspect, and Saturn is our celestial taskmaster. It kind of makes sure that we are learning our lessons, right? And with that trine aspect, it makes it just a lot more harmonious, things that we've been kind of trying to work really hard at, plug away at, places that maybe we saw some duality, right? Mars is in Gemini right now, so maybe we saw another side of someone that we weren't really expecting, a different side of the situation. Our perspectives kind of been flipped, and so in being able to see that, understand that, and then work with that accordingly, kind of like, hey, what am I supposed to learn through this experience, and how can I adjust my actions moving forward, so that it's actually getting me to my goals and where I'm going. And like I said, there is favorable elements with that today. And a lot of this, remember guys, it's about being a little bit outside of the box. With Saturn in Aquarius, that is forcing us to not necessarily rely on how we used to do things. We have to kind of expand our horizons, so to speak, or, kind of look for possibilities and opportunities in unexpected spaces. And this usually, Aquarian energy is usually like the place we least expect it. It kind of has that surprise element to it. But I feel like that's actually a positive thing, because we do see Uranus and the North Node are in conjunction with each other in Taurus. This talks about how there is kind of a knee-jerk reaction in certain areas of your life to kind of, this really is, to me, it reminds me of like utilizing rebellion in a more positive way. And we might have a tendency, people that we love, that we're close to, a certain default mechanism, like we get really upset about certain things that get said, or when things don't go our way, or you know, maybe we walk out on someone, or we ghost them, or, you know, we all kind of have those different default modes. And this is talking about how, like, when, again, that same moral, like when you can work through that, especially with whatever you're dealing with today, this is going to be more in relation to things that are familiar to you. You know, Taurus energy deals with our money, our possessions. It's kind of like our material surroundings, you know, and also like what we have. So looking at it through a new lens, you know, like I said, kind of finding that unique perspective, maybe something you didn't see before, is going to help. I feel like, you know, there is a little bit of resistance, like maybe we don't really want to change our perspective, which is fine. I mean, that's like a totally normal thing. Most of us would love to kind of, you know, do the hamster wheel. You know, I know it would get monotonous after a while, but what I'm trying to say is it's a lot more comfortable to stay in things that we are familiar with. So just be mindful of that energy. You know, I feel like you're starting to feel a little bit better with some of the changes that are happening. Black Moon Lilith is still trying to throw in some curveballs. So just be mindful. I feel instinctually you know what's changing in your life. So just accept it and, you know, move forward accordingly. Try not to get wrangled into the past. Curveballs, in terms of things that, you know, might make you feel safe and comfortable, or, you know, pull you back into that space of comfort that I was just talking about. Be really mindful about those areas. It seems like you'll be able to see through those things very easily. And actually, this reminds me, as I'm talking about it, it reminds me a lot about the daily tarot reading I did for today. So definitely check it out if you're interested. It talked a lot about us being able to kind of see the reality of a situation. We're seeing that Black Moon Lilith sextile to the fortune point. Fortune point is what we're trying to bring into our lives, right? It's our abundance. It's the fruits of our labor. It's kind of living that life of, you know, luxury, whatever that means for you. That means a variety of things to different people, right? But it looks like the things that maybe come up today that are trying to trick us or throw us off course, we're gonna have pretty keen insight that, like, whoa, I've been down this path before and I am not gonna go back down. You know, and it's actually, like I said, so it's not only are we able to see it and shut it down, but then it actually, when we do that, we find that we get quote unquote rewarded with the goals that we have set. So you might see like a little piece of the pie comes in and it's like, oh, you know, you get that little, like I said, that like pat on the back from the universe. You know, and it's like I said, there is a lot of like duality at play, especially with that Mars. We talked about this in, I think it was the yesterday astrology reading, but we talked about Mars in opposition to Mercury and Venus. That still is playing a role, but it's really not as bad as, you know, kind of what it's been the last couple days or so. You know, a lot of it, like I said, it's about being able to look at what you're learning right now and making those steps accordingly. It feels like some of the karma is evening out, which is so good, right? I think, like I said, the sun is in harmonious aspect to Jupiter, so that really talks about how the more we are aligning with ourselves, again, that confirmation, like abundance is coming in. And, you know, with these astrology readings, they're general. Know that, yes, the energy is dependent on where these things are happening in your life. I definitely do personal readings, so if you're interested, you can check out the description box as a side note. But yeah, I think that, you know, what I'm seeing is it's a lot about you know, really building into your own life. You know, it's kind of like putting deposits in on what you're trying to grow, what you're trying to create and achieve right now. You know, even if that means like I'm trying to achieve doing less, right? Really, COVID taught us to take that step back, to have a better work-life balance, etc. So when I'm saying achieve goals, it doesn't mean you have to be like, you know, the front runner, you know, going a million miles a minute. It's not about that at all. It's about like honoring our spirit, our mind, body, soul system. That's what these readings are for. And yes, though there has been tension and frustration, the more that we are aligning, just the easier things are becoming. It's getting a little bit more fluid. I do feel like, you know, I probably should not say this until I have some clarification. I'll get back to that statement. But yeah, I think that is about it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for taking time to tune in. Definitely give a thumbs up, share, and subscribe so you get notifications for when I drop content, which is every day, all day. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Lots of love and light. Many blessings. Have a great day.